Hey guys, it's me, 𝒬∞plays. Welcome back. If you're new here, hi, I'm 𝒬∞, aka Sarah, and I make aesthetically pleasing videos for you to enjoy and me to enjoy creating. So today we are doing my G-Shade tutorial, the last and final one. I'm gonna go over everything that I know about G-Shade, as well as some tips, tricks, and settings for you to help you enjoy G-Shade just as much as I do. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop straight into it. The first thing you want to do is head over to my G-Shade installation guide, tips and tricks Google Docs, which will be down in the description below. It has all of the download links that you need from this tutorial, so do not look up anything, come straight here and download from this page. You may view it and it may be like this, all closed up. That's because I made the page list, so people who get overwhelmed with a lot of things can just close everything up that needs to be closed up and they're good to go. So you can just simply, you might see this when you first load up, however, mine isn't like that, but I'm going to do this step by step so that nobody gets ahead or gets lost. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is go to the programs and applications needed for this document. The ones under required are required. So WinRAR, G-Shade, the Reshade Effect Toggler, and my G-Shade presets, not so much required, but a G-Shade preset is required. Optional are some of the few lighting mods that I'm going to tell you and show you about in this video. You do not need them for G-Shade to work, but I use them and I recommend paired with any G-Shade preset, these optional mods. I do want to stress how this should be the website where you're getting G-Shade from. Do not go to www.gshade.org. It looks like this because this is how people are getting malware. They still have the downloads available and you can download for Windows. It is still a working website, but do not download from here. You should be downloading from the GitHub. Once you're at the GitHub, you want to go over to the Releases tab, and from there, scroll down to the Assets page. You know you're at the correct one when you see 4 items located in your assets. Go ahead and click G-Shade's latest installer.exe. Before we begin installing G-Shade, we want to make sure we know the architecture that is our computer. So to do that, you want to come over to your System's Start button, right-click, and click Settings. This is going to open your main settings for your entire computer. Go ahead and go to System, scroll all the way down to the bottom till you see the About tab, click into it, and under the device specifications, if you have to come down, just go ahead and do this, click and look for system type. So I'm running on a 64-bit operating system, x64 based processor. Now knowing that, let's go ahead and talk about G-Shade's installer. So go ahead and open up the installer. You will be greeted by this installer thing asking you to select your language. Once you've selected your language, go ahead and click OK. From here, you have the license agreement. I'm not going to read it because I already have. Make sure you read it and know what you're getting into and click I agree. I cannot stress this enough. This is super important. Do not use the automatic path detection. You need to find exactly where your Sims 4 is running. If you're not sure to do that, go ahead and use your Sims 4 desktop icon. If you do not have one, I'm going to show you how to get one. For most Windows computers, because everyone's on EA, unless you specifically told EA to install The Sims 4 in a different place, yours is going to be located at your PC disk, Program Files, EA Games, The Sims 4 Game Bin. Once you're in the bin folder, you're going to be greeted by this folder right here. You're going to be looking for TS4_x64. You won't have these two until later in the video if you decide to do the next steps that I'm showing you. So right click on TS4x_ and click More Options and Create Shortcut. This will now create a desktop shortcut. From there, you can now quickly access your Sims 4 bin folder by just clicking Open File Location. That's why I recommend that you have a Sims 4 desktop shortcut, I have a desktop shortcut as well as the Sims 4 on the bottom here. You can also right click and click it, but you cannot access the file location from the taskbar shortcut. To get the exact file location for the Sims 4, please avoid copying this because this is not the full file name. What you should do is go ahead back to ts4_x64, click it, right click it, and click copy as path. Go ahead and head back to GShade's latest installer, and you can, I'm going to delete this to show you. Go ahead and paste it. Before you press next, delete the commas before C and after exe, and then click next. You'll be greeted by this page. This brings me into our beginning where I told you to find your bit architecture for the Sims 4. We're on 64-bit, so go ahead and select 64-bit. Now, underneath that, you're going to see the graphics API option. You will see a bunch: DirectX 9, 10, 11, 12, OpenGL, Vulkan, and 𝒕𝒔𝒉𝒂𝒕. For certain users, you will be able to use DirectX 11, and for certain users, you'll be able to use DirectX 9. I'm going to show you now how to figure out which one you should run on your computer. Go ahead and press the Windows and R key at the same time, and you're going to be greeted by this Run menu pop-up. In here, put this following text: 𝒕𝒔, and click OK. From there, it's going to launch your DirectX diagnostic tool. The first step in this is to go ahead and head over to your display 1. If you're running multiple monitors, you'll have a display 1 and 2. We still want to go in there. If you're not running 2 monitors, it's just going to say display 1 for you. From there, we want to go ahead and look at feature levels. If your feature levels look like mine, all the way under to 12_0 or 12_1, then your Sims 4 can be ran on DirectX 11. From there, you can go ahead and just exit the DirectX tool and come back to GShade's latest installer. Now, if you saw 12_run, you can run DirectX 9 and DirectX 11 in the Sims 4. If you didn't see anything above 12_0, then you need to select DirectX 9. Now, before we go ahead and install DirectX 11 GShade onto our Sims 4, we have to make sure that Sims 4 itself is compatible with DirectX 11. The tutorial I'm showing you and process was given to us in the patch notes for the update on 5/28/2024. I'm not showing you anything that EA does not recommend. Basically, what they said in the patch notes is that you will have improved rendering capabilities for more detailed and immersive environments in future releases, and it shows you exactly how you can learn your computer is compatible for DirectX 11, and it's exactly what I just showed you to do. So I'm not showing you anything that's going to harm your computer or the Sims 4 game if you follow the tutorial and the steps step by step. Now, to put the Sims 4 in DirectX 11, go ahead and head to your EA app, head over to the Sims 4 tab, Manage, and View Properties. From here, you're going to get the Advanced Launch options. Just simply put this text in, -DX11, and click Save. From there, this is why I said you need a desktop shortcut of the Sims 4. Go ahead and right click and click Properties, and in this target path, press space and put -DX11, and go ahead and click Apply and OK. You'll get a pop-up asking you if you'd want to change it. It is OK. Click Yes, and then now your Sims 4 runs on DirectX 11. You know you have successfully created a link to DirectX 11 after you have launched the game and you see these 2 new files in your bin folder. So you're going to have a dxgi.symlink file and a ts4dx9x64 application. So this is running Sims 4 in DirectX 11, but now this is running DirectX 9 to DirectX 11, and this is the link telling it to run in DirectX 11. Okay, from there we can return back to GShade's setup and go ahead and select whatever DirectX you know you're running. and then click install. For me, I'm not going to do it because I already have GShade installed on my computer, but you'll go through the process. It'll ask you where you want to set your screenshots, and now GShade is set on the Sims 4 and your computer. Next, we're going to focus on downloading two different types of presets because I want to show you two tricks. So the first preset I'm going to be downloading is the Nostalgia version 1.0 Reshade preset. So we're going to download this. When you download a preset, don't be scared if this pops up. Just go ahead and click download unverified file. And then you're going to pick a GShade preset of your choice. I'm just using Pearl because I like it. It's already in my game and I just wanted to download something I already have instead of looking for a new one. All right, now let's talk about putting these into your game. I recommend that you go ahead and just place the two presets on your desktop, so quicker access. Now go ahead and right click the Sims 4 and click show file location or open file location. Now, if you installed GShade correctly, you're going to see two new file folders in your bin folder of The Sims 4. You're going to see GShade add-ons and GShade presets. Go ahead and go into GShade presets, custom, and this is where you're going to put all of your presets, including your Reshade presets, if you're coming from Reshade to GShade. And go ahead, I'm going to replace the file in the destination because I just downloaded it, so I know it's updated. And now we're going to convert that Reshade preset that we just put into our GShade presets folder. When you downloaded GShade, you were greeted with a GShade control panel option. Go ahead and click and open that. From there, you're going to be greeted by this menu. Go ahead and head to the Tools tab and click Launch Converter. From there, you're going to be greeted by this menu. You want to go to exactly where in your program files that GShade folder that you just added that Reshade preset to. It's going to look something like this. Just click the GShade presets folder, custom, and OK. And now it's going to say preset conversion complete. You can go ahead and exit out of the GShade control panel. How you know it worked is you're going to go ahead and again go to the Sims 4 desktop icon, right click, open file location, go into GShade presets, custom, and you're going to see a presets backup, the date and the time, everything like that. And if you scroll through, you're going to see all your presets. That means all of these presets currently right here have been converted to work with GShade, including Reshade presets. So you can go ahead and delete the preset backup. You don't really need it, and I've never had a problem out of the converter tool. Now, let's talk presets. If you can hear the rain in the background, it's pouring where I live. So, okay, so this is the Serenity GShade preset by Miss Lollipop Sims. I'm using hers as an example because she uses MXAO and DOF shaders. So that's the shaders that are going to blur the background of your world when you use screenshot mode. So as you can see with the no shader, this is the sim, but with the screenshot version of this preset that uses MXAO and DOF shaders, is going to blur the background, just focusing on your sim here. In order to use these features, you have to turn off a setting in The Sims 4 called edge smoothing. I'm using this picture as a reference, but it's this one in there. If you use a preset, you want to turn edge smoothing off. However, when you use a preset that uses MXAO shaders or DOF, it causes your Sims UI to be grainy and faded. The Clear UI by Vixated takes this away and makes your game look how it looked before you used a preset with MXAO and DOF to the game with the preset. And I'm going to show you now how to install this. Firstly, you're going to want to download the REST version 1.2.3, and it says only compatible with Reshade 5.0, but that is not true. If you come down to GShade, you just need to get the exact same file that matches the current version of Reshade. To find out the current version of GShade I'm using, I do go to gshade.org/patch notes, and we're on version 5.1.0. Cool, now that we know that, we're going to go ahead and download REST version 1.2.3 and REST version 1.2.3 in the INI folder. When you do that, it's going to be a GitHub page, and you're going to see release.zip. Go ahead and download that file as well as the 1.2.3 reshade effect toggler.ini. When you download both, you're going to be greeted with two files, the reshade effect toggler ini and the reshade effect toggler add-on. What you're going to do to the ini is simply take away 1.2.3, so rename it from 1.2.3 to reshade effect toggler, and that's it. You want this to match this. The only difference is the name and the little setting bar. Cool. Now that you know that, let's go ahead and put them into our game. So you're going to go ahead back to the file location for The Sims 4. In the Gshade add-ons folder, you're going to add on the X64 add-on. Okay. In the presets folder, you're going to go ahead and drag and drop the reshade effect toggler. You have now installed Gshade and the reshade effect toggler into your game. All right, so I went ahead and I moved my mods folder out of my Sims 4 folder because I want to load the game up when first loading up Gshade fresh with no mods. No, Gshade does not affect your mods. No, it will not break any mods. But because I want to load my game up and only focus on Gshade for the moment, I don't want any extra mods running or anything behind the scenes. So also go ahead and delete these folders. So 𝒂𝒊𝒆 str, online thumbnail 𝒂𝒊, delete game version and local thumb 𝒂𝒊, like this, especially after removing mods, and then go ahead and open up your Sims 4 game. When you first launch The Sims 4, you're going to get a pop-up at the top that says Gshade has been installed correctly. Press this tab to open menu. This is the said menu that I'm talking about. As you can see, it pops up front. I forgot to clear my 𝒂𝒊, so it didn't pop up. As you can see, since I've used reshade before, my reshade preset automatically pops up and I have a key set to turn it on and off, and I'm going to show you how to do all of that. So when you load into the main menu is the best time, like I said, to open Gshade. So go ahead and press home, shift backspace, whatever key it told you and prompted when you first load up the game. As you can see, you're going to be greeted by this menu. It's going to look different. You're going to have a pop-up that says blah, blah, blah. Just click skip tutorial. And yours will be red, it won't be blue like this. Go ahead, if you want to have the same kind of background or menu, go to settings, go down to user interface, and you can select the theme here. Go through, there are tons and tons from you to pick from, and pick the one that you like best. All right, from there, head over back to the settings tab, and as you can see, you have 3 keys that I recommend you use. So first is the overlay key, which is going to pop up the menu. Yours most likely is going to say shift backspace. I recommend changing it to a button that you can easily access and that The Sims doesn't use. However, home does bring up the walls in The Sims 4, so if you don't want that happening, pick a different key. The next key is the shader reload key. So if I press the OME key, which is my toggler key, that's going to turn on and off my Gshade. But if I press shift F1 or shift 1, it's going to reload my preset. So that's if something bugs out, and then the OME key is what toggles my shaders on and off. I also recommend that you set a performance mode toggle key, and for me, my performance mode toggle key is normally F3. So I'm going to select that, and every time you press F3 on your keyboard, it's going to load performance mode, which is what you want. As you can see, it's reloading and it's putting the Gshade menu and Gshade into performance mode so that when this happens, your game will look better and run smoother with performance mode on. And then the next important key is the screenshot key. Go ahead and set whatever you want to put your screenshot as. I use F9, and I also recommend having a folder set for presets, because if not, it's going to go into your users folder and it's going to be a hassle to find. So mine is actually a folder that I've created in my documents called Gshade, and this is where all of my screenshots that I take of any of my Sims anything goes. To find that page, just go into see users and then go down to users and click your user and then documents and your folder that you use. However, when you're doing it like this for users, unfortunately, no matter if you delete OneDrive or not, you're going to have to use OneDrive as the thing. So look for OneDrive in your thing here, because if you just do like I did, go into the Documents tab, it's not going to be in there. But if you go into your drive where it's at, you should see it linked there. Another way to find that folder is just to simply open up your home tab, go to wherever that folder is, click this, right click and click copy as path, then come back in and just paste your path, deleting the commas, because of course that's not the run. It just does that for purposes, and go ahead and do that right there. And now that's where your pictures will go. So if I press F9 on my keyboard, going to take a picture, and now I can go into that folder, into Documents, I can go into Gshade, and as you can see, any folders that I've taken, just like this one that I just took, now goes in the Gshade folder. Another thing I want to talk about is toggler keys for MXAO and ADOF. If you do not want the ones that the creator of the preset has set, it's really simple to change them. So for my MXAO, maybe I don't want Control S, which I actually recommend that you use that because it's close to also the cap block key and you want to be able to have quick access to both. But whatever you prefer, each person likes to press different keys. Go ahead and right click, and then right here you can press whatever key you want to change it. Same thing with any other preset. You can right click and use any key. So like right now it's set at caps lock, but say I want S. Now S will be the proper key, but for me, I want it to stay at caps locks. So that's all you have to do to change preset MXAO and ADOF shaders created by the creator and keys set. Now, if you correctly installed the Reshade Effect Shader Toggler, you will now see it in the Add-ons tab. Right here, clicked. You don't need to mess with anything. It's already set the way that it needs to be set. And then also make sure that you have edge smoothing off, and you can do this in game. You do not have to restart your computer. And after you see I did edge smoothing, you can see that it changes the way everything looks. If you have the preset off, it just changes everything. We're going to go ahead and hop into game, and I'm going to show you the difference with MXAO and DOF and kind of why people use it, even though it may cause the game to be slightly grainy. I'm just going to load into a house scenario so that I don't have to play any kids. I'm just going to do this, and yeah. This is what the menu looks like with shaders on and with shaders off. You can tell a big difference, and it also depends on your preset on how it looks. So this is Miss Lollipop's Serenity gameplay, but if I wanted something darker, maybe I'd use Matrix by Fanta Sims, and if I turn that on, you can kind of see, let me just turn everything on real quick because I have the preset set a certain way. Well, we don't want ADOF, and yeah. If I want something darker, I may use this to do so, or I can use other things. So I have so many presets that I go through, like I have cast presets specifically and game presets. So if I use this one, this is the kind of, overlay that I like. It's grainy, but I prefer my game to kind of look like that. And this is what the menu would look like when you download Gshade. For this portion, I'm going to show you that the Reshade preset that I downloaded works. So we're going to go ahead and click that. And as you can see, there's no red, nothing telling me, hey, this preset does not belong in Gshade. So I'm just gonna click out of this. As you can see, turning on, this is the preset. It is working. MXAO is working, and DOF, which is the shader field that causes the background to be blurry and to simply focus on your sim. So everything from that Reshade preset is working. And now I'm using Serenity's Gshade preset. And as you can see, if I press caps lock, went ahead and none of it is affecting this bottom UI, which is what the Reshade toggler does. This up here, it really doesn't make a difference. But as you can see, my game is not grainy. The shadows are good. And I'm using MXAO and DOF shaders just by simply pressing caps lock. That's going to turn it on and off. And as you can see, as I zoom, it's going to go ahead and blur the background, and then off, on, off. Pretty simple, really easy. And I'm going to show you the difference when you don't use the reshade effect toggler, because sometimes I don't even notice that it makes a difference. So if we head over, hold up now, to add-ons, and we go ahead and untick the reshade effect toggler, it won't work until the next system restart, but you will notice a difference in your game on what is going on. And you can just see how much like the preset really affects colors in the game. Like so much brighter. And I also use lighting mods, so even my game without shaders is still very vibrant and bright, and it has shadows and things like that. The shader just adds that extra layer of brightness to your sim as well as just the world. And now I'm going to show you the G-Shade shaders that are the mod shaders I use to kind of make my world look like this when it's off and still kind of look bright and vibrant and not so dull and blue like the game. All right, starting out with the first lighting mod is Milk Thistle by Softer Haze. On the G-Shade installation guide, I have Sunblind because that's what most people use, but this is what is currently in my game. I just recently switched, and as you can see, it's just like amazing what it does to the game. So this is without Milk Thistle, and this is with Milk Thistle. As you can clearly see, it makes a tremendous difference to your game. It is a little time consuming with installation, but Softer Haze does have the lighting mods and installation tutorial that you can go look at, and explains everything really easy. It's a really easy install. It just takes a long time to do. The next mod is the Out the Dark mod by 𝒂𝒂𝒅𝒂. This basically focuses on making the Sims not so blue. So in dark areas, the blue tint is gone. As you can see before, this little dark area back here is very bluish in color, but over here, it's all just one seamless color. And you don't really notice it until it's out of your game, but it really makes a big difference in how your shaders look. The next one is also another mod by 𝒂𝒂𝒅𝒂. This is Brighter Walls and Foundations. It really speaks for itself. It just brightens the walls and the foundations in The Sims 4. It makes it easier to build and also just makes your buildings look more vibrant and not so dingy and dark. And lastly is the Northern Siberia Winds in-game lighting mod. I use the average base, and it just kind of adds a little extra shine and things to your Sims. So it's just a in-game lighting mod, and it works well, and with all of the mods I've listed below, it is not a conflicting mod for anything. Also, another tip I recommend, just go ahead and head to your settings in your computer. Most of you probably already done this and seen this other places, but it really does work. If your computer comes with the gaming tab, you can optimize your PC to turn things off in the background when you play in game mode. So basically optimize your PC for playing by turning off things in the background. You can see more about game mode. You can read all about it. It's just basically optimizing your PC to not let anything run in the background when you're running The Sims 4. Another good tip is to head to System, Display, and Graphics. Go ahead and scroll down and find The Sims 4 and click Options, and you have a graphics preference option that you can choose. So you can let Windows decide, which is probably what it's going to be on, but you can do power saving or high performance. And I have mine on high performance, and you will notice a difference. Same thing with Minecraft. Any game that I really play is on high performance. Now let's get into the question section of the video. And most of these questions I've already answered, but I'm going to go over 3 questions that I picked off my original video that I felt a lot of people should know. So the first question comes from Vanilla Peach T. It says, I need some reassurance or answers. So I downloaded the G-Shade I preset, and I'm curious plus scared, LOL, since I saw a whole ton of people saying G-Shade's website has malware inflicted in it. Okay, so for the first part of that, as I said in the beginning, get it from the GitHub, and that takes care of that problem. And then she goes on to say, she, he, they, them, whatever. And last month, people were still having issues with downloading it through G-Shade. The other half of people saying it only shuts down your computer if you import it the wrong way due to the anti-tamper. And then she said, okay, here's my question. Did it impact your gameplay at all? Like buggy, frozen, or laggy game, mess with mods, or did your computer ever shut down randomly? If your G-Shade is buggy, frozen, or lagging, most likely your computer cannot handle G-Shade with mods installed if you're using mods. If you're simply using just the Sims 4 and packs and it's being buggy, frozen, or laggy, your computer cannot handle G-Shade, period, and you should avoid using it in your game. Unfortunately, it sucks, but true. Has it ever messed with my mods? No, it has not. Even putting my computer into DirectX 11 or The Sims 4, it did not mess or break with any of my mods in my game. G-Shade does not affect that folder or anything to do with your Sims 4 electronics folder, mods, or anything. So you have nothing to worry about that. And has my computer ever shut down randomly? No. Has The Sims ever shut down randomly? Yes, but my computer itself has never been or will ever be affected because I do not claim that energy by G-Shade. Okay, moving on to next question. Number 2 is from 𝒂𝒅𝒏𝒂𝒕𝒔 995. She says that she doesn't have a G-Shade add-ons or preset folders in my bin. I answered this question on the docs for people reading, just in case they don't watch the video, but you can see my answer. I said, if the folder isn't popping up, you most likely did not install G-Shade correctly. If you used 9 before DirectX 9 to download it and it did not pop up in your game or in your folders, go to DirectX 11. If you did DirectX 11 and it did not pop into your game, okay, then go back to DirectX 9. You should only be using DirectX 9 and 11. No 10, no 12, none of the other ones. Because DirectX 9 and DirectX 11 are the only approved DirectXs to use for the Sims 4 game. And the last final question is from Kayla Sims. It says, hi, this worked well, but I have an issue where any preset with MXAO causes really weird shadows and doors, like the shadows being much farther than where the objects are, and it always fixes when I turn that off, but I still want it. Any tips? Like I said before, you need to disable edge smoothing. That's what's causing that first. And you also need to get the reshade effect toggler so you don't have a grainy game. And that should solve your MXAO problem. And you should no longer have to turn it off. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my Sims 4 G-Shade tutorial. I hoped it was clear, I hope it helped, and I hope everything worked out for you. If you are still having problems with G-Shade working on your computer, then I am not technologically advanced enough to tell you how to fix it. I'm just showing you what I do for my game and what has worked for me. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up, turn on post notifications down below, and subscribe. Bye, guys.